Now to continue our 13 things you need to know countdown. Number 6, miles and miles and miles.
Well, for the first time, we've been able to get state-of-the-art GPS tags, and we're able to get a much higher resolution in their migration and the habitat use. So we're able to get up to 1,500 fixes per year, which in the past we were able to get maybe 150 total. So we're able to get multiple fixes per day, and we're able to see now the convergence of purple martins from all across their range using specific small-scale habitat that we can now, with our partners there, target for conservation. It's amazing. It's just for the first time we're able to see up to 5 times a day what these birds are doing. So every place you look on the map, when you zoom in, you're amazed by what you see. Everything you look at, it just brings up new questions. So it's just opening a whole world of possibility to our research. So you can see that we can now take a look at the habitat use of the purple martins immediately after they're tagged during the breeding season here in Erie. So you can see them using our roost here at Presque Isle Bay, but also using a roost over in Canada, and one using a roost down in the Pittsburgh area. You can see the speed that they migrate to the coast with and immediately jump across the Gulf of Mexico. And then they spend time in the Yucatan Peninsula and Nicaragua, refueling after their fast migration. And they move down to Brazil, use various habitats there that we're learning more and more about to conserve. And then after spending our winter down in Brazil, you can see the extreme speed with which they migrate back in the spring. They head back, and it only takes them 2 to 3 weeks, which puts them at great risk for climate change and inclement weather in the spring.
Number 5, TRECs, off to school we go.
We've added a new course. It's a course called Outdoor Adventure. We added it about 12 years ago. From there, we started finding out the different things that were available at the Tom Ridge Center and their education. I tried to integrate that with my program as much as I could, and we've been using it for mainly navigation educational experiences, and that helps prepare us for our backpacking trips that we take soon after we visit the Tom Ridge Center. I'm always surprised that there's always a handful of students that have never been to Presque Isle. So that's a really neat aspect of it in itself. I tell them we're going to go to the Tom Ridge Center and we're going kayaking too. We bring our kayaks from the school and we do a half a day with the educators and half a day on the water. So it works out nice. So they think they're going kayaking, but then they're always pleasantly surprised when they get with the educators and learn about navigation and maps and compasses and things like that. They kind of come into it not really knowing what to expect. So it's a good experience that they always have though.
We started coming here in 1994. And obviously has progressed to using the TREC experience. So a lot of years coming here and a lot of progression from first just meeting at Stull to now we can actually use the center here. They love the opportunity to come here. I'm always shocked every year when I ask students like, how many of you have come to TREC before? And just a small sampling of kids that have actually come here. And they even have students that have never even gone to the beach. So it provides that lifelong hands-on learning opportunity for the students to really make connections in their learning. It's hard to have a beach story or talk about animals of Pennsylvania when they've never gotten to see that experience or have that hands-on opportunity. So for us, it really connects a lot of learning opportunities for the students. We get often notes from parents saying that their kids came home, they talked about it, they want to come back and see it again. So it gives a lot of coverage for the center for students to hopefully bring their families back in the future. This is truly that hands-on opportunity where it allows kids to make those connections, really learn about their backyard of Erie, Pennsylvania, and the diverse ecosystem that we have. And it's not just about the water and the sand and some rocks they find, it's the shells and the plants and the animals, and really making those connections not just about the world around them, but what's right here in their own backyard at Lake Erie.
And now a Rolling Ridge Elementary School production. Number 4, one camera seen and heard around the world.
We began streaming our Nest Cam in 2016, so we've been going for 4 years now. And in that time, we've had over 3 million viewers. And the watch time that they've experienced is the equivalent of 39 years of view time on the Purple Martin S. Those 3 million views are from 161 countries all across the world, bringing a lot of attention right here to the Tom Ridge Center. We were able to harness the energy that exists in internet chat rooms for outreach purposes. We were able to use that as a teaching tool to people that tuned in to view from all over the world. And there were 250,000 comments total that have been exchanged in those chat rooms, and nearly all of them were educational in nature. It was a lot of people that cared a lot. So our chat, it reaches all around the world. So we have people typing comments in their native language, which we then can use Google Translate to communicate with them, figure out what they're saying, speak back in their native tongue, and teach people everywhere about these birds.
Number 3, public-private partnerships work.
With the foundation, since its inception, giving just shy of $170,000 in support of the programs, of the research, of the exhibits, of the events that we do here at the Tom Ridge Environmental Center in Presque Isle State Park. It's an extremely important part of what we do. It allows us to take that next step that we could never take with just the Commonwealth funding that we have. We're able to do things for the public and for our visitors every day that are able to get those messages out to them that we could never get to them through large events like TREC or TREAT, TREC the Halls, some of the bigger festivals that happen here at the park, like programs that we do in support of some of the partner groups, whether it's the Birding Festival, that just help open up everyone's eyes to the great parts about Presque Isle. We really need to look at exhibit upgrades for the future. As culture changes, as the way kids learn changes, we really need to stay up to speed with that and really look at our exhibits in a way that is most engaging to the majority of the general public. It's important that kids, as they grow up, get to learn about Presque Isle and the importance of Presque Isle's natural history through its geology or other natural history pieces. It's important that we can get to them in a way they understand so that they can be those next stewards for us many, many years to come.
Number 2, acknowledging our past and the vision of our future.
Well, first of all, I'm proud and grateful of the work that everyone has done during the first 15 years at TREC. There's been a remarkable series of achievements and accomplishments along the way, but now I think it's time to think and act anew. As someone said a long time ago, I think we need to look differently at our exhibits. Technology has changed. I think people expect more. We need interactivity. We need more technology involved, perhaps virtual reality. Whatever it is, I think we're finding museums across the country need more engagement, intellectual and visual engagement with the visitors. So I think we need to change the exhibits. I like the notion of more and more research here. You know, we're working with Pennsylvania State at Barron. We're working with DCNR. We work with a foundation. We work with the Sea Grant program. I'd like to see us do more research with our friends in Canada. This is a shared resource. It's a shared center. And why not collaborate with colleges and universities and even government entities in Canada on basic Great Lakes research? And then finally, our vision initially was this to be an education center for children K through 12. I'd certainly like to expand that, but to continue to focus on STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. You wrap them together, upgrade the exhibits, more dramatic focus and a lot more energy and more money we'll need for research, and then again, continue to expand our program for K through 12. That would be the vision for the next 15 years, building on the foundation of the past 15.
Number 1, Presque Isle and Lake Erie, celebrating Erie's natural capital and economic impact in 2021.
We're really fortunate to be coming up on the 2021 year and the 100-year celebration of Presque Isle State Park being a state park, because we not only get to celebrate the rich natural history of Presque Isle, we get to celebrate everything and everybody that has taken a part in the stewardship of this park for the past 100 years. All the way from the early years of the Park and Harbor Commission running the park, all the way up through the thousands of staff members that have contributed, to the volunteer groups, to the organizations that have helped Presque Isle State Park out over the years. It's a great way to celebrate this unique gem of a natural resource that Erie has, that the Commonwealth has, so unique and different from most of the rest of Pennsylvania. It's a great opportunity to get to share that with everybody and all those different things that have happened over the past 100 years. Well, I think there's multiple facets to why Presque Isle State Park is such a big piece of the natural capital around here. First and foremost, tourism is huge. Having 4 million visitors a year on Presque Isle State Park and being one of those usually within the top 10 of all national park attendance is a really big deal. Having 2 million visitors that come in the summertime out to the beaches, to explore the trails, to take a kayak trip or paddleboarding is a very big thing for the natural capital. That doesn't even go into the part of how Presque Isle can inform, how Presque Isle can be that model for ecotourism, blue economy, a lot of the different things that go into the rest of this region. We can be an example for many different things and many different initiatives by taking a look at the current issues that are going on, whether it is microplastics within the environment and utilizing the Tom Ridge Environmental Center and the groups up here to do research, or whether it's through looking at beach erosion that not only has an impact on Pennsylvania shoreline and all the southern shoreline of Lake Erie, has an impact on every bit of shoreline across every Great Lake and every ocean shoreline. Things that we learn here, things that we do here could be very impactful, not just to here locally, but for the world economy.